Here at X-Train, you can add learning buddies. It's so easy. Step 1, click on your buddy's profile. Step 2, click the Add to Friends button. Step 3, watch for an activation email and activate it. I have more than 50,000 friends on MySpace, and I hope to get even more learning buddies. Oh, add me! I can be your learning buddy. Oh yeah? I'm much better on X-Train than on a skateboard.
Now, finally, we're going to talk about news aggregation. My name is Giovanni Gallucci. We're talking about social media and how you can use it as a platform for your marketing and online advertising initiatives. So, in the previous course, or the previous chapter, I showed you how to bookmark this blog posting on the X-Train blog. Well, I've logged into Dig under my own account here, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go and add this article to Dig, and I'm going to talk about a few things that are important whenever you're trying to get something in Dig and get it some attention. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to come over to the X-Train blog. I'm going to highlight the URL to the individual posting that I want to put inside Dig, and I'll come back over here, and I want to look around for an area where I can go and actually add a new page or some new content to the site. This shows me all the other things that I've previously added, and it shows how many digs we've gotten on a lot of these articles. Now, the reason why Dig is important is demonstrated in this first story here, which is listed under my #1 story. This article ended up getting 603 digs from a blog from somebody that I was working with. And what that meant to the traffic on this website was essentially several tens of thousands of hits that came directly from the Dig website. The behavior we saw in traffic generation was that as soon as we were able to get this on the home page of the dig.com website, we were seeing 7,000 to 10,000 hits an hour that were generated from the Dig website. Over the first week and a half, as this started to kind of go down, obviously the traffic started to die off. Typically Dig users will hit that home page every day, so if they've clicked on something once, they come back the next day, you'll see the traffic die off fairly rapidly. But we were able to hold our position on the home page of Dig for about a day and a half, and it generated an enormous amount of traffic. And then within the category of Microsoft under News on Dig, we were able to hold the home page within that category for about 5 days, and that continued to drive several thousand hits a day, not an hour, but a day to this blog posting. So Dig itself, very powerful. It's without question the big dog on the block right now when it comes to these news aggregation sites. But Slashdot, Newsvine, Netscape, they all drive a significant amount of traffic as well. So, don't go and put all your eggs in one basket just because Dig is the big kid on the block. You want to spread out your risk here and submit to as many places as you can. Because one thing you'll see when you start working with these news aggregation sites is that just like when we talk about like with chat rooms and other forms of social media, that these different websites have different characteristics to them, you're going to see the same thing with these news aggregation sites. Dig is tech heavy, but it's got some world news and things like that. Slashdot is old school technology, very tech heavy. Newsvine is general news and information. It's got world news, it's got entertainment. It's your all around news source when it comes to what kind of content it provides compared to the rest of these. And then Netscape strives to be that, but Netscape tends to be fairly tech heavy as well, just because it's known as being a website for the Netscape browser, so you get a lot of folks that are still going there, and so the content within the Netscape site tends to be tech heavy. When you compare Netscape and Dig together, one of the things that you'll notice is that the Dig users in particular seem to be much, much more aggressive and negative towards Microsoft than ironically Dig does. So there's some nuances there as you watch behavior and you analyze what's going on the sites. Depending upon what your program is and what your company is, you need to look at the different sites and try to search through blogs to try to identify what the characteristics are of the users on these sites to make sure that you are submitting your stories in a place that potentially has the best chance of being ranked highly and finding its way to the homepage. So we went over, we copied the URL to the blog posting. I've come back to the Dig homepage, and over on this top light green bar, we have a link over on the top right-hand side that says Submit a New Story. Let's click on that link. It's a hyperlink. And you've got a couple of steps to go through. Just like with the social bookmarking, the first thing Dig wants to know is, where is this thing at? So I'm going to plug in the URL to the story, and I'm going to click Continue, and it's going to come back and it's going to try to extract the title out of the page, and if it can't, then you've got a blank slot here for you to put anything you want to in there, just like you see. I'm going to go back to the website. I'm going to grab the title. Now this title, in a way, is made for Dig. The users on Dig tend to respond favorably to some particular formatting elements and some particular types of titles whenever you're submitting content. What I've seen in the last couple of years working with Dig is that Dig users love lists. They love anything about hating Microsoft. They typically absolutely love Unix and open source, so that's all technology based. And then when you get into the descriptive information that they see, they want something that's very quick, very to the point, and if you can give them bullet points, they love that as well. What I've seen in my research is in a lot of situations, Dig and users of other social news aggregation sites like this will look at the title only, and based upon the title will make their decision whether they should vote positively, negatively, or not vote at all for an article. So in any other place on the web, you know, when you're talking about creating content for some submissions of these sites, there's no other place on the web where that's more important than when you're talking about these new news aggregation sites. Dig is probably the most important, but use the same techniques with all the other news aggregation sites, because what you're trying to do is grab people's attention. You want this title to stand out. You want it to be easy to comprehend. And I'll tell you right now, if there's a list, and you go through Dig and look at the news story, you'll see all kinds of stories where it's 7 reasons why this, and 7 things that happened this, and 7 items I had to do here. 7, 10, 5, it doesn't matter what the number is, but Dig users love lists. So I've got my top 10 here. Let's go back and grab some content. I'll give them a teaser. I'll add the first 3 on the description, and if they want to see the rest, they're going to have to come back to the site and see it themselves. One nice thing about Dig is it allows you, there is a spell checker within the application. We're not going to worry about that because I'm going to trust that Jeremy spelled everything correctly. And we're generally talking about technology here. X-Train is a new company that obviously is training folks when it comes to design and marketing and development and photography and all kinds of things. But it could also be business. I mean, in the post he's talking about a startup. He's talking about the reasons why he started a business. So there's a couple of different places we could go. I'm going to select the business and finance category because since Dig is so tech heavy, any non-technology category is hopefully going to be able to have more staying power as we work to try to get links to this individual article.